Yo, what's up YouTubers? This is Nelly from Offbeat Beats, and today I'm gonna take you through FL Studio tutorials for beginners, especially if you don't know anything about FL Studio. I'm gonna take you through everything that you need to know about FL Studio 20, and I'm going to show you how to download FL Studio, how to make beats in FL Studio. And before that, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please click the link below to subscribe, and make sure you share this channel to your friends so that you don't miss anything that comes in when I drop any video. So without losing any much time, let's get started and let's download FL Studio 20, the latest version of FL Studio. For me, I'm going to use my Chrome browser, or you can use any browser that you like. Write www.flstudio.com, and that will take us right away to imageline.com. Download FL Studio for free. If you are on Mac PC, download FL Studio for Mac PC, and if you're on Windows PC, download FL Studio for Windows PC. So you have downloaded FL Studio 20, but I have already downloaded FL Studio 20.72, but the process is just similar. What we're gonna do is head over where you saved your download. So double click on the setup and install the software. Okay, click next, agree, leave it like that, click on next, leave it like that, click on next, and then next. Now click install. So you can see it is important, so just click next. FL mobile, that's meant for mobile, then click next. Okay, that's how we install the software. After that, you can see FL Studio software on your PC or desktop. So let's double click on that to open FL Studio. Yeah, okay guys, when you open FL Studio, you'll find these complicated stuff over here, stuff all over around, some windows, some things written here you even don't understand, but don't worry, I'll take you through all this. So we have some windows here. You have the file windows. The file window is where you can start a new project, open a project, save a project, import and export a project. Edit is where you can edit a project. Add is where you can add your third-party plugins that you have already purchased. For if you don't have money to purchase those, don't worry guys, just click on the FL stock plugin. They all sound the same, it depends on how you use them. The pattern window is where your pattern appears. Any pattern that you make, no matter how many are there, they all appear here. The view is where you can customize FL Studio, change the color and the stuff, the theme and how the pattern look and everything. The option you have MIDI settings where we change our MIDIs, audio where you change your audios, maybe you want to record. And then after there we have the master volume and master pitch. Master volume, it affects the volume of the whole project, and master pitch affects the pitch of the whole project. And here we have the pattern. When you turn this to pattern mode, it plays what is on the pattern, and when you change to the song mode, it plays what is in the playlist. And this, we have the play button, we have the stop button, record, our tempo. So when you come here, we have the pattern. Here is where we can add and edit our patterns. We have the playlist. Here is where we arrange our patterns and chop them into a song. We have the piano roll. Here is where we write our chords and MIDI, make melodies here. And we have the channel rack. The channel rack is where we add our instruments and samples from the browser. This is the browser where all our instrument and samples stored in FL Studio on our PC. Then we have the mixer. This is where all our instrument and songs that we make are all routed in the mixer, then sent to the master. And then here the mixer is where you balance your song, you can add effects, and there's that much more things you can do on the mix. Illustrating this, let's make a simple beat, let's say a trap beat. To make a beat, maybe you want to make a beat, come here, click on new. So you have to open the channel rack. This is our channel rack. It disappears, and if you click, it appears. And if you don't want it to disappear anytime you click on something, just come here, this little icon here, then click detach. Will not disappear. So let's go to our browser and choose a sample. So let's go to packs. Let's choose sample here. Let's go to drums. Let's say a basic kick. You can see these are kicks all over here, and you can add your own kicks in some time later when you get used to FL Studio. So you can drag it direct to the channel rack, or maybe right click on the instrument, click it to open, and you can see it has opened a window here. You can see this window help us to manipulate the sample. As you can see here, maybe you can change the pitch of the sample, or maybe the volume of the sample, the panning. Then maybe you can normalize the sample, remove the DC offset, maybe change the stretch, change it to resample mode, or maybe turn it to stretch mode. Let's start making a beat. Let's make it a 4 loop beat. So let's try to make a trap beat. Let's choose our BPM. You can decide to type in a value, or maybe choose the default values over here. So let me choose 140 for a trap beat. So let me make my kick here. It's my kick, and it goes like this. You can hear it, yeah, like that. Okay, to the pattern mode, let's right click, rename it, give it a color. Let's say green, click accept, and then let's write it, rename it as kick. Open our playlist. That is our playlist. If you click on this window, opens a playlist, and if you click it and again, it closes our playlist. So you can just click here, there they play the pattern. So you can right click, rename this just to make it uniform. Click to match the color, click and type in kick. Okay, I've seen the colors are the same, everything is the same. So this is our kick. So when you are the playlist, you have to change the song from pattern mode to song mode. So this is how we do it. So play, yeah, you can hear our first pattern playing. So when you want to maybe add maybe a clap or a snare, let's add another pattern. Click on the plus button to add. So let's say give it a color, right click, and then yes, and come again, the same process. So rename this, click to rename it, clap and snare. So this is how we do it. So open the channel rack again, go to your snare. So let's say, let me put it in the middle of the kick in every bar. So that is our basic snare, and it goes like this. Yeah. So let's add in a plugin, maybe a piano, something like a piano. Let's click and add another pattern and name it melody, like that. Again, the same process, rename it, left click to choose the color, then rename it again, main melody, to match it with the pattern. Yeah, that's great. So let's add in a plugin. So come to the plus button, click on the plus button. Let's choose something like a piano. Let's use FL Keys or any other. You can use Flex, GMS, all these plugins here. So let's choose FL Keys just to make it simple. Piano roll is where we write down our chords to make melodies. So this is our piano roll. Click there to open it, or another way, you can right click here and click on the first option, piano roll. So you can see it's now plays what is in the plugin. That's a piano. Let's write down a basic chord, a C major chord. If you want to write a C major chord, goes 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. So 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. So that is our basic C major chord, like that. The chord. Just follow along, don't get lost. Yeah, that is our basic melody. Okay, this is our first melody, and if you want to create another melody, you can come here again, choose another preset. Let me use now Flex. Okay, so you can choose here a preset from Flex, any that you want, maybe a flute, maybe anything else, a piano again, kalimba, and so there are a lot of plugins over here. Anything that sounds good for you, use it. Maybe a trumpet. So let's draw down the basic trumpets chords. So right click, open piano roll. So you can see here there are ghost notes enabled. So let's use that to make up our melody. So let's just use these chords. Yeah, don't follow what is on your computer. Just listen to your mind and think what you want to make and make a beat. This is how we make it. Yo, that is our basic high lead, and we're gonna name this high lead. So we did not separate the pattern. So what are we gonna do? We add another pattern and name it high lead. This is just a simple strategy that you can use so that you can use the ghost notes that are there in the other main melody. So click on that, save it, then paste it down here, rename it, then left click and just choose the color that you used in the high lead. So rename that high lead. Okay, after that click on yes, then go back. This is where I told you can select what pattern you want. So go here, right click here, left click, go to the main melody, and then open the channel rack. So you see we want to separate this high lead from the main melody, so you have to rename this too, just to match all of them. Left click to pick the color that you used on the other sample, so we have to rename it like high lead. So click on yes, so we can copy it, either copy it or cut it. So let's cut it so that we don't remain with the lead there. So go back to our pattern there and select high lead. So let's paste it over there. See, our high lead is now here, so let's play it. Pretty much boring, but I'm sure after some time it will make us punchy beats that anybody will listen to. Don't worry, this is the first time. I'm just showing you the basics. I don't want to do things that I will discourage you, but I'm doing things that will motivate you. So follow along and don't get lost. So after there, we have to maybe add something like a hi-hat or something. So let's go back to our channel rack. I told you the channel rack is where we put our samples and instrument. So let's go back there. Let's choose a hi-hat. Yeah, there are some stock hi-hats there, but I like using this one. So right click on the sample and open it in a new channel, and you see it will open it in a new channel. So to separate that, click again on the plus button and add another pattern. So let's hi-hat, rename that like that, give it a color. Yeah, then give it a color again on the playlist. I said left click and pick the color that you used, so like that. Then rename it hi-hats, just to look alike and make things neat. So to make hi-hats, you can decide to put them manually, or maybe to write them in. Just left click or left click just to paste them over there, and right click just to delete all of them there. Another shortcut that we can use is right click, then go down here and fill each every 2 steps. Fill each every 2 steps. So you can see here we still have to fill each every 2 steps. So let's hear what that has. So let's add a bass in our beat. So let's go to the plus button again and find a bass. So for me, I always like using 3x. So for now, let's add another button and name it bass. So right click to give it a color, and again here down the playlist, right click and rename it, and left click to pick the same color that you used and rename it bass. So 3x, this is a plugin that has a powerful bass. Just if you want to get the bass here, turn down all these knobs to 0 value, and then or another trick, you can decide to enable ghost notes. Let me show you how to enable those. So go to view helpers, go to helpers and enable ghost notes. Ghost notes are the notes that help you follow the scale. For example, if you are in the main melody, you can see the ghost notes here, so you can follow along. So let's put it a basic bass. So on your keyboard, click Ctrl A to highlight all the notes, and Ctrl arrow down to maybe so that is a basic bass for a beginner. So for the same process, let's just cut this and put it to the separate button. So let's go to the bass button here. Okay, open the channel rack and paste it here. So this is what we have. So after you have made your song like this one, the way that I have made it, you can see here I have this is sent to mixer preset 1, insert 1, insert 2, insert 3, insert 4, and this one they don't have any insert. So you can just control shift, then you start clicking on one by one Then a shortcut for that, to send them to the mixer, you can click on your keyboard, Control L, to send them to the mixer. As you can see, they have been auto renamed and given the insert number. Like for example, you have our bass at 10, hi-hat at 9. As you can see, let me play that. So you can see our audio is being sent from the channel rack to the playlist, to the mixer, and then to the master. And here is where you can control and add effects to our audios and make a beautiful song from here. So after that, after sending them to the mixer, here is where you can add your effects. For example, an EQ. Maybe let me show you an example. Maybe let me solo it to our main melody. I can decide and add an EQ, an equalizer. This is a stroke equalizer. For example, you can come here and choose, right click, let's say radio, and decide to enlarge it. Let's add a reverb. Increase the size. I'm sure you can hear that. You can see it sounds different from the one with effects. Without losing much more time, this one I'll show you in another tutorial that I'm going to make it for you so soon. So stay tuned, click on that subscribe button, and make sure you stay up to date for my latest videos and tutorials. So without losing any much time, guys, after doing all this, you have to arrange your patterns in a playlist to make a song. For example, let me highlight all this. Control A to highlight, and Control B, Control D to unhighlight all those. So for example, for the intro, we remove the hi-hat, we remove the bass, and move the high lead, the clap, the kick. So we stick with only the main melody. Then hi-hat and the kick. Okay, this is the basic way you can do your stuff and arrange your beat. You can do it like that. Maybe make a hook or chorus or an intro, wherever that you want. Your last thing, guys, for example, when you're finished arranging your song in the playlist, you may want to export your song into an audio format or any other format, wave format. So to do that, after arranging, just don't worry about anything. Just come here to files and then click export. Importing is where you can import a file that you have already made, so you want to edit it maybe, so you do import. So but for us, we want to export the song that we have already finished making. So you click on, come to export, then come down to, you can choose maybe waveform, you can MP3 or OG, that the MIDI file and the stuff, but I prefer MP3, so click on MP3. So after clicking on MC, it's asking you to rename it. So maybe let me rename it FL sample. So after renaming it like that, save it. So you can see this little window over here. It shows full song. Now we are MP3. Don't touch anything over here. Just click on start, and automatically it will start exporting your file. So before it finishes, guys, I want to advise you that when you're at your own free time, just don't rely on just one tutorial. Just go on YouTube, click on some tutorial. There are a lot of FL Studio tutorials out there. There are some people, maybe you may not understand what I'm telling you, but you can understand it from somebody else. I don't want to be jealous. There are a lot of tutorials out there. Please, if you like what I do and you want to follow along what I do, just if you don't understand anything, leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you don't understand. Let me know what you want me to do for you, and I'll exactly do it for you in any tutorial, that in any way that you want. I'll customize it. I'll make sure that at least you understand what I do. Exporting your song, you'll hear that sound that shows us that our mp3 is ready. So guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and stay up to date for my latest videos and tutorials. And I have beats, guys. Please click on my link there down below and let me know in the comment what can I do to make this channel grow. Thank you for watching.